Still getting really stuck even though you've done the exercise from the previous video? Let's get some deeper focus going, shall we? Hello, Janny here from www.jannyfrank.com, and this is part 2 of the How to Focus mini play shop. So in the first part we asked 3 journaling questions that help you to get some idea of why you've lost your creative focus, and also we talked about not making the fact that you're feeling unfocused right now a stick to beat yourself with over the long term and to block you permanently. Now in this play shop I'd like to go a little bit deeper, and I'd like to help you to access, especially if you struggled in the first one, I'd like you to help you to access the inner wisdom that we talked about in the first play shop. So if you haven't watched the first play shop, I'll put the link below to make sure you can go find it. Okay, so for this you will need your journal. Any notebook will do, anything at all, and grab a pen, grab your journal, and let's do this thing. Okay, so there are 2 questions that I want you to ask yourself, but what I'm also going to include in this play shop is a little audio, which is a guided visualization. Now this is if you are so deeply stuck that as you're listening to this play shop, or as you watched the first one, you just felt, I know this is the right thing for me to do, I know that I can benefit from this, but I'm blocked, something's stopping me, something's just sticking. And you can feel, very often it's like a physical sensation, this block that you're hitting up against. And, you know, again, not a stick to beat yourself up with. This is something that happens to people. It's just a thing, and it's part of the creative process to feel resistance and get blocked. It's not an indication that something is wrong necessarily. Okay, so if you are feeling uber stuck, uber blocked, go and do the audio visualization. It's just a very short visualization, and I'm going to use my magical spiral drum. Use my frame drum, which is a lovely and very ancient technique used in many cultures to help you get into a relaxed state where you can access your intuition. So go and do that, and then come back and watch the rest of this. Okay, pause. Okay. Okay, so the 2 questions that I want you to ask now, I want you to think about the block that you visualize, the block that is that you can feel. And I want you to ask yourself in your journal 2 questions, and allow your intuition to answer the question, because I can't give you the answer, and a book can't give you the answer, and another person can't give you the answer. Only you really know. So you're going to need to trust yourself with this one, okay? So question number 1. What about this block or story is serving me? Now I hope this makes sense. What this is a question about why you're hanging on to the story, the excuse, the block. So whether it's you know, I was criticised as a child by my art teacher and so I can't draw, or I have caring duties for my family and that means I can't do any artwork, or it means you know, whatever block you are encountering, very possibly there's something about that block that is actually giving you something, which is why you can't get rid of it. These really kind of immovable blocks are very often serving you in some way. They might be protecting you from criticism or doing something else that is actually useful. Now I'm going to just pop a little caveat here, because I know that lots of people who follow me are dealing with serious mental health issues, and obviously this exercise is going to be helpful, but I don't wish to trivialize any serious blocks or issues that people are having. And obviously you can go and get some help, and you can get therapy, counseling, and do get the help that you need for the thing that's blocking you. But here I'm talking about your common or everyday blocks, the things that can actually stop you for months, even years, from creating the artwork. So perhaps you have an idea for a book, or you really want to perform your songs in public, or you've started painting but you're getting really stuck. And this is a brilliant technique for dealing with that. So that's the first question. Write it in your journal and allow your intuitive self to answer the question. So hit pause, and when you're done, come back for the second bit. Pause, 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 pause. Okay. Okay, so this is question number 2. Referring back to question number 1, I want you to ask, what other thing could give me the same thing without blocking me? Okay, so however that block is serving you. So for instance, if that block is serving to protect you from criticism, how else can you protect yourself from criticism in a way that doesn't actually stop you creating your artwork? Because anything that is stopping you from creating your artwork is something that needs to be addressed and moved through, and not necessarily ignored or stepped over, because actually often those blocks can yield some really great inspiration, but they are things that need to be faced, dealt with and moved through. Okay, so you will be asking yourself now, ask your intuition, ask your wisdom, what else you could do that would give you the same thing that sticking to your blocked story is giving you, without blocking you from creating artwork. Okay, so ask yourself that, and I'll see you in a minute. Pause, 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 pause. Okay, so really hope those 2 questions helped you. Please do come over, find me on Facebook, comment on the blog, comment in the Bubbling Well if you're a member of my community, and let me know what came up for you when you asked those questions, because it can be really, really interesting to see what comes up for you. And I'd really love you to come over and check out Journey Spiral, which is a technique that I've developed precisely to help people move through blocks and keep momentum going, create momentum and keep momentum to get your creative projects out there in the world, because the world can never have too much art, let's face it. So thanks very much for watching, and do stay connected. Bye bye.